The call to act justly isn't just in response to this cultural moment. It's actually a biblical call. It's God's call to those who follow him. In fact, the pursuit of justice is at the core of the gospel message. So for those who follow Jesus, where do we go from here? What are some practical steps that we can take? Well, there's two different ways that we can walk forward from here. One of them is congregationally, and the other one is individually. As a congregation, we're already partnering with organizations that are seeking justice locally. Two partnering organizations that we frequently talk about are our partnerships with Clarksburg Free Little Pantry and Clarksburg Can. Both of these offer food resources to those who are struggling with food insecurity. The pantry helps by offering 24/7 emergency assistance with perishable items for a meal or two and is located right here in our parking lot. And Clarksburg Can offers a week or 2 weeks worth of groceries at scheduled times. Jobs Partnership is a partner that we work with that mentors inmates in the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. It's right up the road. They learn resume writing and interview processes and job skills training so that they're more prepared to enter the workforce upon release. Faith Connections, which is a network of churches that serves the Clarksburg and Damascus community in a variety of ways, they really help with utility and rental assistance for those in need. The 5K Orchard Run puts the spotlight on smaller grassroots organizations and groups that are trying to make the earth a little bit more like heaven, a little bit more just, and a little more fair. These organizations have the opportunity to share about their work, and all the profits from the race go to fuel these organizations in their efforts. The Vulnerable Children's Network is one of our newest partners, which focuses on the most vulnerable children in Montgomery County, those in foster care and those in biological families that need additional support and resources in order to remain intact. But I get the sense that God is just not done guiding us in the direction of where he's calling us to seek justice in our local and global community. And who knows what the future might hold? Could the front area in front of the church become a space for students, particularly high school students, to hang out, since currently in our area there's very few options for them? Could one day the back 4 acres of our property be turned into affordable living homes to create a way for those who work in our community as teachers and construction workers and daycare workers to actually live in the community that they work in? Could this congregation become a place where they could get their groceries for a meal or two, but also find education resources and financial training to see lasting change in their lives? Could this congregation be a group of people who, regardless of what another person's background is or what they have done or where they have gone, that they can be loved as the beloved image bearer of God? And I can't wait to see who we become. But we're also called to seek justice as individuals. Individually, every one of us has been sent to a particular location and place in order to proclaim and demonstrate the good news where we live, work, and play. You have been sent to your coworkers and family members and schoolmates and your literal neighbors. Jesus tells his followers in the end of the book of John, "As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." And so really, in order for us to understand how it is that we are being sent, we have to understand how God sent Jesus. And we find that in the beginning of the book of John. It says, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us." Now, my favorite wording for this verse is actually in the Message, and it says, "The Word became flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood." So we are to dwell among those that we have been sent to, and we're to move into the neighborhood. And that means way more than just like living next door to them. It's more than just working in the same cubicle space as them. It's more than just being on the same sports team. When Jesus dwelt among us and moved into the neighborhood, he spent time with the people. He ate with them. He fed them. He played with them. He walked with them. He knew their hurts and pains, and he knew what was important to them and what they needed. And sometimes we get into this really bad habit and routine and rhythm of life where we just arrive at home or work or wherever, and we're just there without actually being there, without actually living there, without actually dwelling like Jesus there. We are sent to know the people around us and to understand what's oppressing them and holding them back and keeping them in bondage, to dig into the relationships with people right around us who are different than us, and walk with them long enough to love them and care for them, to seek fairness and justice for them, to take care of their problems just like they were our problems. See, the best story that I think represents this in scriptures is perhaps the story Jesus tells of the Good Samaritan. The essence of the story is that there's this man that is beaten and robbed and left for dead on the side of the road. And there's two people that pass by, two very religious people, by the way, who went to church every week. They watched all the live streams. They paid their tithes. They followed the laws of Moses. And they saw this man who was hurting and they said, "Not my problem. I didn't do this. Either the person who did this needs to come back and make this right, or the guy needs to just pick himself up by his bootstraps, dust himself off, and keep going. It's a tough world out there and you need to take responsibility for your own circumstances." And they were in the same space as this hurting man, but they didn't dwell with him. And then the Samaritan comes along, someone who's a part of this totally different ethnic and religious group. And he's the one who stops and binds up the man's wound. He puts him on his donkey and he takes him to an inn and he pays the price for him to be taken care of. He repairs what has been broken, even though he is not the one who broke it. Notice that the Samaritan didn't just see the hurt man and demand that restoration and repair take place. Acting justly is not just hoping that someone else, like the government or even the church, will take care of things. Acting justly is doing what the Good Samaritan did. It's paying attention. It's seeing the situations that are not right, where something's broken or something's missing or something's not equitable, that are right around us, and using whatever levers are at our disposal to do something about it. See, the Good Samaritan had a donkey and he had some bandages and a few coins, and he used those things to do the work of restoration and repair. So the question is, what has God given you that you can use to bring about restoration and repair? Whatever it is, use it. Be the hands and feet of Jesus in this broken and unjust world. And I can't wait to see how God uses us as a congregation and you as an individual to continue to pursue justice in the places that we live, work, and play.